Hello everyone, you are welcome to Anchor Network where you get reliable and authentic news that are so crucial to you. I say big thank you to everyone who has been part of this channel and who has taken time to subscribe. And if you are yet to subscribe, I say please click the red subscribe button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified anytime we publish any news. Since Nnamdi Kanu was released, has it changed anything? Says Gumi. Northern Islamic scholar Dr. Ahmad Abubakar Mahmoud Gumi has said that since Nnamdi Kanu, leader of indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, was released by the federal government, has anything changed? Gumi, speaking on the court pronouncements on the Shite movement and its leader Ibrahim El-Zakzaky in an interview with the Sun newspaper, said, has Sheikh been released physically or by the court? Have they obeyed the court order? Okay, until we see him out before we can say anything, but this is a better alternative than him being held for this long period. They should have since released him so they don't take the burden of treatment, just like Kanu Nnamdi of IPOB. Since Kanu was released, has it changed anything? It would have been the same thing if El-Zakzaky had been released. He would have done nothing. Even now, there is nothing he can do. But it is better to release him so that the tension, the reasons for agitation would be reduced. Talking about the intervention of the Iranian authorities, we should know that the Shite Muslims are closely knitted. They help each other and they have a government which is in Iran. The government has oil, money, and they assist each other. They don't shy away like the Sunni world. The Sunni world is loose because they don't feel the threat. The Shiites from inception is based on oppression. They teach the doctrine of being oppressed. That is why they are always closely knitted. So we would know that since Shite is imported, it has not been in Nigeria since the last 50 years. Not even stretch of it until it was brought in by El-Zakzaky himself. So we should understand how to deal with them. Just make them recognize the authority and do not allow them to be harmed. Therefore, anything that can push them to take up arms, you have to stop it and stop that. Do not give them reasons to agitate. Let them be civilized like other religions, but do not use force to suppress their ideology. You can advise them and show them red lines, but you should not crush them. Crushing them is like putting petrol on fire. Their ideology is just like that of Akida. They thrive in the spirit of being suppressed. They like fighting authorities. We should not give them that chance. If you give them that chance, they will thrive. If you incarcerate their leader and put him out of their reach for long, their faith will increase. When you allow them without suppression, they don't thrive. As government prescription of their movement, what government should have done is to encourage them to register because their registration means recognition of authority. Like the Izala, it is not a sect, it is an organization, but with an opposite ideology with the Shite. The Izala organization is registered with the Corporation Affairs Commission, so they work within the confines of the law. So you do not explain or expect radicalism. Allow the Shites to register, encourage them to register. I have spoken with them and told them that you have grown up. I have told them that you have grown up. I cannot convince you otherwise, but be civilized in your approach to practicing your ideology. I do not agree with their ideology, but you are Nigerians, whether we like it or not. You are citizens, so we should accept you as you are. Nigeria will disintegrate and the North will suffer most. Gumi also said, I see chaos and probably Nigeria can even disintegrate, and disintegration will be bad for Nigeria. Let me tell you about the North. If there is disintegration, the worst thing any country would like is to have an unstable country as a neighbor. So Southwest will be relatively stable, Southeast will be stable, but the North will be volatile. How can we contain Boko Haram in the northeast. No way. How can we contain the problem of the herdsmen in the north? We cannot contain them. In fact, the little weight of southwest and southeast are adding to fight them is what is suppressing them. But if you go and leave us with them, we will just eat ourselves, and you have a very volatile north. And I do not think we will have peace there, because the borders are not barbed wires. They are not barbed wires, and there are so many intermarriages. In fact, Nigeria will just be like another Lebanon or Yemen. Nobody can control the north because nobody has monopoly of power in the north. The S-men, if they have any iota of political acumen, even if they are evil, since your man is in power, what do? You lie low to allow him to have the power. You don't become so virulent that you end up destroying the northern power by attacking people everywhere, not caring who is there. Let me tell you this. Nobody is in control of the north. No northern politician has that clout to embrace everybody in the north. Everybody in the north with his clique, and that is a very dangerous situation for the country. The southwest is divided into two equal house, and nobody is in control there too. But generally, the people there are not volatile and they are not violent. They can negotiate and stay in peace. The people of the South seem to understand each other because their own is business. I see it be more stable, even though the Kanu IPOP people are there, because generally the population there can understand and negotiate. They can only have population problem if people ask them to go back to their region, but the North, so you can't just imagine. We'll talk about this explanation of this Gumi in one of my videos, but what is really focusing now is on about the Shite, that the court has released the man and the federal government do not really want to release him, because after the court has released him, for him to go for treatment in India, the Kaduna state government again saying they are going to oppose that thing. They don't really want him to go, that he might from there go to Iran because he is a citizen of Iran as well. So people are like, what is the relationship between the Indian and Iran? And meanwhile, the government official, the DSS, will be going with him. And that was what Falana was trying to explain in one of his videos when he granted an interview, that it is not the way the Kaduna state government is doing. And he said he's not bound to whatever the Kaduna state government is going to say. I mean, Falana, that it is what the federal high court has said. They have already released him, that let him go for his treatment. That it doesn't work that way. That he doesn't know why they are afraid, but they would have rejected that judgment from the high court. But it was after everything had been done, because they knew quite all right, because they submitted everything to the high court, and the state government, Kaduna state government, they were aware of all those things. They didn't object it. So why, after giving a judgment that, or a kind of verdict that this man needs to, and his wife they need to go back to Iran to go and, India, to go and take treatment. They are not even talking about Iran, because before now, Iran government had already said they should release El-Zakzaky for them, but they didn't release him. I think maybe that was why. That is my opinion, though. I think maybe that was why they just, okay, instead of him going to Iran, because if he gets there, he might not be able to come back. Okay, let him go to Indian. Him and his wife, let them go to Indian. And as they are going, the government official will go with them. So that the fear that the Kaduna state government is raising is something that he cannot even understand, but he wouldn't want to go about that. But as we speak now, we don't even know what the problem is. But I think Falana said they are still working on some things, but they are going to hold on to the judgment of the federal high court, not what Kaduna state government is going to say. But Kaduna state government is saying they are going to oppose, or they are going to reject that verdict. That be as it is me. So what Gumi is talking about now is that the government is not doing the right thing. That they are the one creating all of those things, causing these agitations, to be as high as as it is now. That if they had done the needful, if they had ignored these people, that they would have, it wouldn't have escalated to this stage. And meanwhile, like he said, that they are not going to say anything. Now they have released him until when they see the man coming out, coming out of the custody that they have put himself and the wife. And also is trying to relate the whole thing back to Nnamdi Kanu. That just, after Nnamdi Kanu, they have done whatever they needed to do with Nnamdi Kanu. That at the end of the day, has anything changed? Nothing has changed. The people are still agitating and doing, still want what they really want. But the issue that they want to do the same thing for the Shite, and meanwhile they have really made IPOP to even be more popular and all of that, and now they are repeating the same mistake. But my question is that, does it really mean that, just like this Gumi is saying, because lots of people tend to really agree with what he's saying, that this is an intelligent submission. Doesn't mean we don't have people within the government that can really reason through, because by the time you are doing all of these things, you are making the whole thing escalated. And the same thing they have done to Sowore, and somebody was saying that they have made Sowore an hero, because of the way they have arrested him. They would have allowed him to just go for the protest, and it will end like a protest. So at the end of the day, you are keeping him, and you think the protest will not go. And now people have fixed the protest, since you are afraid of that protest, and you are using, what is it called, the word revolution. That is what you are hanging on him. Now people are going to say loud, okay, we are going for protest, then let us see what you are going to do about it, because constitutionally protest is allowed for citizens, for them to protest. So the Gumi is trying to tell the government what they ought to have done, like give these people this privilege, let them register their stuff, that he himself had already talked to them, that you are grown up, this is your ideology, nobody can change it, everybody is free to operate on their religion that they believe. You don't have to force anybody. It's constitutional, freedom of a religion, freedom of speech, that once you commit them to register their distance, register their group or religion, or as the case may be, with a CAC, they will see the guidelines and they will never cross the red line. But the idea that you think that they have a connection, or the connection with the Iran government, and you think that this is what they believe over there, is inconsequential. They are in Nigeria, they are citizens of Nigeria, and they have to obey the rules and regulations and the constitution of Nigeria. But you need to let them, okay, register your this thing. We have a lot of religion in Nigeria that everybody is practicing. So why can't you make them, to have the same thing? And at the end of the day, they will know that, they will never cross the red line, and they will never cross their boundary. They will know that if you are in Iran, you obey the law of Iran. If you are in UK, you obey the law of the land. So the same thing, it will always happen to Nigeria, because they are in Nigeria. They must obey the rules and regulations. But if you try to suppress them, that is what the Gumi is saying, that if you try to suppress them, you will see that they will thrive because they will think that you are suppressing them, you are oppressing them, and that is when they will have more power, because they wouldn't want to take it. So he believes that the government has made a mistake, and they can still correct the mistakes. But the question is that, does it mean we don't have people within the government that can really advise the president, that can even advise the government? With all the money that we pay them, all those people surrounding him, he has he has his ADs, he has his commissioners, he has ministers, he has a lot of people that Nigerians pay, Nigerian government pay them. And at the end of the day, what are these people doing? Does it mean they are afraid of their boss? Are they afraid of the president? Or does it mean they have said, they've suggested all this kind of a thing that this Gumi is talking about? Because you can't tell me that these people that the president is working with, they are not reasonable people. Does it mean they have suggested all this kind of a thing to him and he just refused to listen? Or does it mean it is the cabal that do not really want to accept that? Or do they really have another reasons for doing all of these things? Because that is why Nigerians too, they don't even really trust this government, that they don't even know the direction they are going to, because with all their action, with their body language, people can not seem to understand them. So if we have people within them, those are the questions that we can't even answer, because just like I'm asking the question, does it mean that we don't have a good people, intelligent people that will want to suggest these things to the government or to the president, that if we go this way, it might hurt us, if we go this way, it will favor us? Or does it mean they are just working for their pocket, that is none of their business? Or they have already suggested to him and he just refused? Or the cabal, as the president's wife had said, she said that she's close to her husband, she's part of the government, whether we want to put it officially or not, she's part of the government, she knows. And she said that there are two people controlling Nigeria, that where are other men in Nigeria, that a lot of people put in this government. All of a sudden, after the 2015, she started seeing two strange people that are holding the government to ransom, and that shows and portrays that the president is not even in charge. And that's when we everybody confirmed this issue of a cabal. Does it mean it is this cabal that are not really allowing the president to know what is happening, or they are the ones that are advising him wrongly, and people that are behind, or that are not so close to these two people that the president's wife has been talking about? They don't allow the good people that are working with the president or this administration, they don't allow them to have access to the president. So it's, you just imagine that. Why can't they do the needful so that there will be peace? They themselves, they will have peace, because at the end of the day, they are spending, they started spending some time out of their 4 years. After that 4 years, they are going to leave. So what kind of legacy are you going to leave? It's not something that is, okay, you are the head of a family forever. Head of a family is always a head of a family forever. But in this case of Nigeria, constitutionally, after 4 years, you are going to leave. So why are you holding ground? Holding ground for what? Something that is not hereditary. You are holding ground. Because whatever you do now, if another government comes in, they are going to change everything. The narratives will change. So why are you making the whole thing so difficult for yourself, making everything so difficult for your government? I think they really need to listen to people. A lot of people have been suggesting, prefer solutions to the problems that are facing us, but they just seem not to listen. So guys, that is just my own opinion concerning what Gumi has said. It's trying to relate the issue of El-Zakzaky with Nnamdi Kanu. So I don't know the aspect which he's talking from, trying to bring in Nnamdi Kanu to this to the picture of what we have now. I would like you guys to explain to us, because I know we have a gurus in the house. Would like to hear from you and hear your take on this matter. Thank you very much for always listening. Bye.